106.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com at 8:45. Time for a visit with our Indiana County Commissioners. Brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Mike Keith in the studio with us, and Robin Gorman as well. Shireen Hess not able to be with us this morning. Mike, Robin, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you both with us here today. Mike, this Marion Center basketball team has to have you pretty excited, huh?
It is pretty exciting, especially come from the district itself. Big congratulations going out to Amy and the girls, but they represent us well. And I can remember back in the '90s, whenever the girls were actually in the playoffs back then, it was quite exciting. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice for Indiana County too.
Yeah, it really is. And this is 2 years in a row that Indiana County has teams in Hershey. That's pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah. All right, so good stuff there. Let's get to some county business, though, and things that are going on around. We talk about infrastructure within the county a lot, and county-owned properties and maintenance of them and projects that are always going on. And I know that's something you really have to keep on top of those things, don't you?
Well, you do, and especially whenever something pops up that it's unexpected, a roof leak or something like that, and which we actually just encountered a couple of them this winter. But you got to keep on top of them. They will, come up on you, and truly the maintenance, getting out there and checking out the maintenance before it actually happens is a benefit. But sometimes you can't do that.
Yeah, when you take a look at what the county actually operates, the thing that concerns me, I think, most of all, that as a county-wide property is the Indiana County Jail. Because the building, as I said to you in a previous visit, it seems like it's brand new, but it's actually been there a while. And particularly with a building that gets that much usage and the wear and tear that must be involved in that, I would guess, and it's just me, that the maintenance costs there and the repair costs at the Indiana County Jail are higher than another building that you might own or operate in Indiana County. Would that be the case?
Yeah, that it is. Actually, I think out of all the facilities that we actually are in charge of, I actually think the jail is probably the most challenging. And the reason I say that is coming into the first term, something popped up. It's like, you're right, this jail isn't that old, 16, 17 years old. How did this happen? And once you start digging into it, you find out really in the background of how this jail was actually constructed when it was, a new building. And there was some corners cut that we've, found when we're in the repairs and stuff like that, that shouldn't have happened. But behooves us how that happened with the architect and the construction firms that were putting it together. It happens. So we actually just are finishing up on a brand new security system that was is being placed in there. And again, it is something that was needed. Things don't last forever.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was really getting at is the security. And the communications that must be in place to operate a county jail such as that, they have to be prohibitive. And at the county jail, you have a professional staff that not only are you required to have a really good group of people there, but their training needs, Robin, those go on and on. That's not something you do once and you're set for life there. You have to have continual training.
You got it. And I actually let Mike take it first because he has a nice way of making it a positive issue and not making it sound like an arbitrage. And it's really important because the people out there, as you're saying, Todd, don't deserve that. They have taught us more about how seriously they take their jobs, that they are people that live in this community too, and they have families. And the serious people with serious problems that need to be in there need to be in there. And that's why they're there, to keep us safe and to keep them safe in the right place and try and get them rehabilitated and potentially back in society. But their jobs are really tough. It's not unlike an emergency responder that when you have to go into a situation that nobody else wants to hear about, and they deal with the ugliness that they have to deal with day in and day out. But there's a good side to it too, and truly, you can do a lot of good in a jail, and you can help a lot of people. And so they're amazing staff. They are trained. They do training all the time, whether it's firearms training, whether it's the security training. We call it the tactical support team, like if they all have to go in a group, and we laugh about it a little bit because we've been part of that, but we're like, don't get in the red suit, because the red suit's the guy that, has to do the hard stuff. But not a lot of people, and of course they don't really want to hear about this issue, but Mike is right, and I know probably too much about geothermal, and that jail was built with a geothermal system. And there's a lot of upfront cost in geothermal, and if it's done right, it can really benefit you over the long run. But if it's not done right, which was one of the problems we came into, it can cost you a lot of money. And so it's been a tough, challenging facility.
I always thought the guy in the red suit was Santa Claus. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll just keep thinking that.
Well, let's get away from that and on to something else. It's not as if the budget ever goes away, and crafting a budget is a 12-month-a-year project, but you're in a specific area of budget preparations right now, as you always are, at any given time of the year. Where are you now on the county budget, and how optimistic are you with where the county sits financially, and what our obligations are, and whether or not we're able to meet them the way we are financially set right now?
Well, that's funny you asked, because we actually sat down last week and we're actually attacking this budget, this year's upcoming budget for 2025 in a different manner. We're actually going to pull together departments as a group. Before, we've asked them to look at their departments and look for efficiencies, look for restructuring, look at ways of cutting whatever they can cut out of it. But we're actually going at it now. We're bringing groups together to where we're going to ask them to work together and come up with thoughts and efficiencies that they can actually share amongst themselves. And these groups are going to be alike groups that kind of work together in some form or fashion.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because I would guess that they don't get all that many opportunities to meet together as a group. And when they do, they might find that there are things that this department might do that department also is doing in some form or fashion, and maybe working together, they can come up with a solution that will save the county some money and actually make them work better together and make whatever that particular issue is more palatable for Indiana County.
And that is exactly the point. So when Mike and I began, and he's very much on top of budget, that's his skill, he started to talk to the directors when we would come together and the elected officials about thinking out of the box and running the county like a business. And that led me to believe that they probably hadn't been functioning like one full team, like one full business. And we were right. And they have thanked us for bringing them together on a quarterly basis just to talk, just to share, know each other. And as we got going year after year, it's amazing how long it takes you to learn your business and all the businesses of the county. But this last year being so difficult, yes, Mike's right. We asked them individually find efficiencies, find ways to save money, cost savings, productivity, not lose quality, but with advanced technologies and using it to its capacity. So now we have found over time that they talk now, and they are saying, hey, the jail being in close proximity with the airport, and the airport and the jail being in close proximity now with our new forensic center, they're already finding ways where if they need a trucker, they need somebody to plow, and they're short a person, they can come over because they have the equipment, it's so close. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The parks, and when you start to group them and they start to talk on their own, they come up with a lot of amazing ideas on their own. So, and as you know, and the world knows, there's not a great workforce out there waiting nowadays to be put into jobs that they're not willing to work for. So we are down staff, and we have to find even more cost savings going forward. So again, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to work with our county team.
Yeah, well, and you're working as a team with all of the folks that are there. All right, we have a couple of moments left, and everybody wants the monthly update on broadband, where we stand, are we rolling, and are people getting wired up? But you tell me, where do we stand?
Actually,
with
last
broadband?
week I had an opportunity to meet with Chad Carrick out at REA, and it gave me an update that the materials and everything are actually coming in for the construction that was awarded to REA for this year. So they're basically going to get the rest of those materials in and start construction pretty soon here.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, folks are anxious for that to happen.
One thing I wanted to mention, Todd, something that came up. So the first part of the year, fire companies do their hazmat refresher training. And when I was attending one here last month, one of the things came up that a lot of people don't know about it in the county, but it's been here for a while. It's called Code Red. Code Red is a app that you can actually go to the emergency management website, and it's actually on there. You can sign up on this thing with your telephone. And basically what it does, it gives you alerts to emergency situations that are in the community. And those alerts, like evacuations, bioterrorism, boil water, et cetera, et cetera. And you can reach out on your cell phone, your regular phone, or through email. But Tom Stutzman, the director at EMA, actually wanted me to share that with everybody. So go on the website. It's free, but it reaches out to everybody in the county, and you get the alerts.
There you go. Emergency Management, Indiana County.
Yep.
Code Red.
Code Red.
Like it. I like it. Well, thank you so much for the visit this morning. We look forward to meeting with you again next month. As always, the invitation is there. You need something, you let me know.
Okay, Todd, thank
Thanks,
you.
Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Fox News coming your way then. Josh Widdison in our WCCS newsroom. Right after that, on this Tuesday morning, coming up, we have the Indiana Players scheduled with us. It's Indiana in the Morning on the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, at 8:58.
It's the Train Unstoppable event. Unstoppable solutions and unbelievable deals. There's never been a better time to buy a Train. When you buy a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system, you save today and lower your energy costs over time. It's a win-win for you. It's hard to stop a Train. Special offers and financing available. Call your local Train comfort specialist, Miller Plumbing and Heating, for details. Call 724-349-6676. Subject to credit approval. See store for details. PA license 014576.
Among all the delicious cheeses out there, one is believed to be the first made in the United States.